I'm Michael Bain, and welcome to Triggered. One thing I said on Facebook, I said in my podcast, and I want to say here is that in the 6 months of the Trump administration, we have gone farther in resurrecting the Second Amendment than we have in the last 10 years. Now, one of the things we all know about is the striking of the $200 tax on silencers, on short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns, any other weapons. But something happened last week that even adds to how good things have been going, and that's the Firearms Policy Coalition announced that the pistol brace law is dead. Not just in limbo, but dead. The reason it's dead is because lower courts had vacated it for members of Firearms Policy Coalition and I think Gun Owners of America's Second Amendment Foundation. But it was appealed under the Biden Justice Department, but the Trump Justice Department withdrew the appeal. And so the law itself is vacated. Now, the only reason that law exists, the only reason, was to see how many felons the Biden Department of Justice could make. Because you know what? It's easier to deal with felons as opposed to armed Americans exercising their God-given constitutional right to firearms. So, a lot of people said, wow, the big change is going to be lots more suppressors. I think, as well as do others in this business, that maybe the biggest change is going to be the rise of the short-barreled rifle, whether it's rifle cartridge, 9mm pistol cartridge. And the reason for that is because they're amazingly convenient as home defense weapons. You've seen this guy. It's a Glock 34. It is a registered lower. This is a real short barrel rifle, which is ridiculous because the registered lower is just the frame of the Glock. The rifle part itself has nothing to do with it. Spanish 9K suppressor. It's on there because it's a super light suppressor, super convenient. And it's a short barrel rifle, so I was able to add 3/4 of an inch to the stock. Can you believe it? 3/4 of an inch. This guy is a Ruger LC Charger. It is a pistol. And during the several years where the government was trying to decide if pistol braces were illegal or they were from Satan or from whatever idiot thing the Biden Department of Justice thought of, we had this pistol brace off of it. Now this pistol brace is back on it. This is an ideal PDW, personal defense weapon, home defense weapon. It's manageable. It's 9mm. It uses Glock magazines. I have dozens of 33-round Glock magazines. And when it has its own dedicated 9mm suppressor, it's quiet, it doesn't have any recoil, and it has absolutely minimal muzzle flash. Tell me that is not a perfect home defense weapon. When we come back, we're going to talk about it in terms of rifle calibers.
You know the RIA 5.0 packs radically new innovations, but we didn't stop there. Introducing the RIA 5.0E. The E stands for enhanced, as in new optics, cuts, and plates. The updated barrel is crafted with improved materials and slide geometry. The look and feel is also enhanced. Plus, new lightning cuts show off the updated match-grade barrel. Experience the enhanced RIA 5.0E today.
Welcome back to Triggered, where we're talking about the rise of the personal defense weapon. Of course, PDWs were invented in the 1980s in the military in Europe as something between a rifle and a pistol. The idea is something easier to shoot than a pistol, but more powerful maybe for a bit longer range. Now, the reason that they never took off in the United States is the idiotic NFA laws. You know, again, dumb, dumber, dumbest. But now that is changing, I wanted to show you this gun because it's a great gun. One of my bedroom carbines, a carbine that's been in my bedroom for a long time, is a SIG MCX. And it's got a SIG suppressor on it. It's 5.56. It's a great carbine, EOTech holographic sight. This is better. This is a SIG MCX pistol in 300 blackout. Now the great thing about 300 blackout is the round was designed for short barrels, suppressed guns. It was designed to do that. So it works really, really well in that context. And secondly, .300 Blackout is hugely widely accepted by the industry. It's a tremendous amount of rounds, including excellent subsonic anti-personnel rounds. Cool thing here is, like I said, as a pistol, is that once I take, the reason I haven't taken this flash hider off is because SIG probably installed it, I don't know, with unobtainium glue, rock seal. It's going to take a torch to be able to pull this off. But it's an 8-inch barrel. And when I add an 8-inch suppressor, for example, this is a Banish 30 V2. And it's modular. You can take off this front couple of inches. So it can either be a 6-inch suppressor or an 8-inch suppressor. But let's say it's an 8-inch suppressor mounted on an 8-inch barrel. What does that come out to? 16 inches. What's a standard barrel on an AR-15 by law? 16 inches. So I could put this suppressor or one like it. In fact, I have a dead air 30 caliber suppressor that is going to live on this gun. That's coming. But it is the same length as my current SIG MCX without the suppressor on it in a more powerful cartridge. So what you have here is, once again, we come back and say, what's an ideal weapon in the home? Well, a weapon in the home that's not going to be like a 223 and throw a fireball this big, as big around as Stephen Colbert's head. And it's going to be powerful. You're going to be able to get ammunition everywhere, and you're going to be able to silence it. If I want to, after January 1st, I can call this guy a short barrel rifle and put a stock on it. We'll make a decision then. And I'm waiting to put a really good sight on it. We'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. Stay with us. This week's Triggered is brought to you by Hunters HD Gold. They change so you don't have to. MTM Case Guard, quality shooting sports accessories. And Luth AR. Are you ready? Genuine US-made AR parts. One more. Pistol that looks sort of like a short barrel rifle, but has a pistol brace on it. And this is from Volquartsen. They actually, unfortunately, came out with this gun. It's called an ENV, basically. It's a 1022 in a short chassis. The chassis is an Odin chassis, which is really, by the way, a great general overall rifle chassis. They're carbon fiber short barrel, and then this SB Tactical folding brace. They came out with this gun exactly the same time the idiots at the Biden Justice Department decided to attack pistol braces. So it never really got the love that it deserved, because it is a great setup. It's Volquartsen. It's accurate. This is the reason I have this pistol out here. This is a Volquartsen competition pistol. And a couple of years ago, I shot this gun against my two competition pistols. One, a Tactical Solution that I built on a Volquartsen frame. The other, Mad Mike Precision that I built on a Volquartsen frame. And they were the best guns I could build, period. And you know what? This was more accurate. I was able to take time off on speed runs on plates. Volquartsen, Scott Volquartsen, my good friend, knows what he's doing. So what you have here is the coolest plinker in the world. It's something you can fold, put it in your backpack, have it with you. This particular setup here, this is a Banish 22 suppressor. I was going to put a Tactical Solution 22 suppressor on it, which is actually my favorite 22 suppressor, but I realized that it was actually disassembled and floating in a vat of suppressor cleaner out in the garage. So I didn't want to get my hands gooey putting it together. But what you end up with is a really super plinking rifle. And secondly, you know, if you put a 25 round magazine in this gun, it'll take any 1022 magazines. And you were saying, I'm going to defend my house with that. It's got 25 rounds of Federal Punch or one of the other specialty 22 rounds. Trust me, it doesn't matter that it's a 22. Whoever is in the process of assaulting you is going to have serious second thoughts about the entire process. By the way, I have both on the pistol and on the rifle. These are Seymour. They're classic competition sights. And the neat thing about this gun is the same as this gun. It's drilled for every sight on Earth. So you can directly mount a sight, whichever red dot sight you want, directly to the frame, same as you can do on the pistol. because it's a lot easier. So the world is changing. Short barrel rifles, brace-equipped pistols are once again going to bring the personal defense weapon to a very, very high level. I'm Michael Bain. You can find us on michaelbain.tv, where we're always free, YouTube, Rumble, X, a bunch of places I've already forgotten. We'll see you next week.